What's up, people? Today I'm reviewing the Blu-ray and the 4K Blu-ray of Mother, coming up for you guys next. So the Blu-ray and the 4K Blu-ray of Mother. I'm going to talk about the Blu-ray just because that is where I always start. And this Blu-ray definitely looks cool. It definitely has a heavy amount of grain though. And I just want to state that sometimes that can limit certain elements, like detail in this Blu-ray is not as good as what you would think. And clarity is not as good as some films out there, and that is just because they actually wanted this movie to look more like a biblical painting, and a lot of those paintings are heavy with grain in them just because they are, old, and they definitely wanted this to represent that. And really, yeah, like I said, that definitely hampers certain elements in this Blu-ray. But at the same point in time, I definitely do like the darker scenes, and it's specifically with the black levels, it definitely gives you a creepy vibe when she is entering a darker part of the house, and that definitely helps with the creepy element of this movie. And for that, I have to give the Blu-ray a 7 out of 10. It is not that bad, but at the same point in time, it definitely could be better. And now for the 4K disc of Mother. This was actually shot in 16 millimeter, and in the more heavier, more CGI focused scenes, it was actually filmed in 35 millimeter, and then in post-production it was mastered in 2K. So this is another up conversion to 4K. But at the same point in time, I definitely feel like with the Dolby Vision that this release brings to us, I feel like this is a pretty substantial upgrade in the video department. Now, if you have a television that supports Dolby Vision, you definitely want to check this out just because of the fact that it definitely does a lot with, skin tones, and it handles the grain a lot better than the Blu-ray. And I definitely feel is where you will get the better color palette, especially with the wide shots of the house from the outsides. I literally get a lusher color palette that to me looks more like the paintings that this movie wants to emulate. But even without the Dolby Vision, you still get a more detailed picture quality and a more clearer picture, just because, especially in close-ups, I definitely feel like this is the preferred viewing for this movie. And for that, I definitely have to give it a 8 out of 10. If you have a Dolby Vision TV, you might want to check this out just because this is one that you will actually notice a difference on. So next, we are going to be getting into the audio of Mother, and you won't want to miss it because I got some Dolby Atmos to talk about, people, and I got it coming up for you next. So the audio of Mother. One thing that I absolutely love about this particular release is even if you just went out and bought the Blu-ray, you still got the Dolby Atmos track. And that is because they actually put it on the Blu-ray and on the 4K disc. And I do love it when studios do this. So kudos to you guys. You did a great job. And this is a damn good Dolby Atmos track. Damn good. Not every Dolby Atmos track has to be the most bombastic track that you have ever heard. A lot of them, or at least some of them, should be subtle because the movie is more subtle, at times anyway, when it comes to Mother. And really, this track handles that absolutely brilliantly. There will be subtle audio cues that this Dolby Atmos track picks up on, like the house creaking and making very small noises that I heard in my height speakers or behind me, that I felt like it was just immersing me in this movie, where the movie itself was kind of dragging. And then in the more bombastic scenes that this movie definitely has, especially when the people actually come into the house, you definitely get the chaos, the absolute madness that is going on within the house. And that is where this audio track definitely picks up, and it shows you that it is very, very dynamic. And for that, I have to give this a 10 out of 10. I know that I've been giving a lot of 10s to Dolby Atmos tracks, but that is because I've been hearing a lot of good ones lately, people. And I promise I will make a New Year's resolution to go harder on these tracks, but it is not the new year yet, and until then, I will give this a 10 out of 10. So next, we are going to be getting into the special features of Mother. You won't want to miss it. I got it coming up for you. Coming up next. So with the special features for Mother, we get a 30-minute featurette that really deals with elements of the film and where the movie goes, and you definitely have a interview style where these actors are interviewed about certain aspects of this film. And then they have a small amount of backstage footage for you as well. Along with that is a 7-minute featurette that goes along with the makeup effects. Personally, I really felt like they could have gone further into really the religious allegories that are going on here, especially with this movie being such a divisive movie. I felt like this was a part where they could have definitely stuck up for Mother, but unfortunately they didn't, and for that, I have to give this a 4 out of 10. I did like what little special features they had here, but I wanted more, and they didn't give me that. So next, we are going to be getting to my last looks and my final scores for Mother on 4K and Blu-ray. I got it coming up for you next. Look, guys, Mother is a very divisive movie. Some people are actually going to hate it for what it is, just because of the fact that it is so pretentious, and it can get pretentious at times, and it definitely sacrifices being pretentious for actually being entertaining at times. But at the same point in time, I like some of the social statements that they want to make with this movie, and I really did like the actors that are here. Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem are really great, and it is just a movie that I really like talking to people about, because it seems like whoever I talk to about with this movie, they have a different angle than I have, and it ends up being a discussion piece for us. And if you didn't watch my video review for Mother, I gave it a 6 out of 10. And then when you add up all the scores, the Blu-ray gets a 27, and the 4K Blu-ray actually got a 28, just because I felt like with the Dolby Vision, I definitely got more bang for my buck as far as the video quality goes. So what's coming up next on the channel? I'm getting back into some action, and I'm getting into some Schwarzenegger with the Terminator, because they just came out with the 4K disc of Terminator 2, and I can't wait to talk to you guys about it. So are you excited about my Terminator 2 review? Comment below. I want to know all of your Arnold favorite movies. And as always, guys, thank you for watching my videos. You guys are great, and I will see all of you next time.